Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, this is Alex Bennett and this is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight on the East Coast of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, from Las Vegas, Nevada, the only place that you can make money out of by walking into the propeller of the plane when you get off the...
Thank you. Welcome to Armenian Bandstand. Bandstand, my friend. The bandstand, my friend. Bandstand, my friend. Bandstand, my friend. Bandstand, my friend.
Can you do that for about the next 15 minutes, and I won't have to interview you and come up with spiffy things? You said that your power went out.
Oh, it went out 2:30 last night. Zing, just out of nowhere, everything.
Okay.
Everything.
You want my litany of what went on?
Yeah, it's a communist system.
I wake up in the morning just to go take a pee because I have the prostate thing, and I pee about once a night. And Marjorie's up, and she says to me, "I can't get the TV set. It's broken in the living room."
Uh-oh.
That's how I wake up, okay, to that.
The day's starting. Oh, that's the sunrise.
Yeah.
A great sunrise.
Yeah. So I went and unplugged it and replugged it in, and it worked.
Okay,
all right.
It worked.
That's for starters. Then I find out the server I've got up in Canada that carries all my video and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can't connect to it.
Great.
So I had to call them. Okay. Then, let's see what else happened. Then it started getting even worse because I suddenly noticed that my phone isn't working.
Oh, man.
My mobile phone. It's not connecting to my Wi-Fi, and it's not connecting to an outside cellular source. I can't figure that one out. I'm now in this day and age, to call anybody like a tech support is impossible.
Oh, you had good luck to you if you have to do that. Hello, my name is Skippy, my friend.
Well, forget about Skippy. You can also get Bob, and he's at home, okay?
Oh, my friend.
But what you've got now, excuse me for my eye, folks, but it's not...
Everything again.
Oh, it's allergies and...
Candyman.
Anyway, the trouble with getting any kind of service out of tech support is that they all use the same excuse. Well, it's the COVID. I call it the new COVID excuse. Anything that can go wrong, you go, why did that happen? And they go, oh, it's the COVID.
Oh no, I've had, it's an outage. That's the one I hear. It's an outage.
Yeah.
I couldn't get like 2 channels. I couldn't get sound on like last week. Just no sound.
We've been so.
That's not an outage. If it's an outage, everything goes out. Yeah?
Everybody's been saying how wonderful things are, and that nothing is going wrong. They're keeping everything together just by people doing stuff from home. And then I find out that everything is fucking up. Everything.
Oh boy.
So then my server in the United States, GoDaddy, suddenly will not accept my signal, my trying to upload stuff. I mean, it was one thing after another technologically breaking down.
Jeez.
Okay? And then I just didn't go on. I didn't do a show last night. I was so exhausted that I couldn't do it. And I hadn't solved any of these problems. Then I look, and it's like I'd like to get to bed at 11 because I'll take my phone over to the AT&T store, where of course they'll say, well, we can't fix it because we got the COVID going on.
Yeah. One thing after another. Friday the 13th again.
And that's why I told you, hey, can you make it 3 o'clock? I didn't know how long I would be there and so on. I just, I was crazed with all of that. And I forgot to tell our midnight show here that I wasn't doing a show last night. And he isn't very tech savvy, so he just waits for me to drop the signal. But the signal was coming from our playlist here. He listened to me. He knew I wasn't on, but he didn't think he had to do anything on his end. So 20 minutes in, I email him and say, hey, so there's another problem. Okay? Yeah. All right. So now I go on to my, as I say, my GoDaddy isn't working. I'm dealing with them. It's almost 3:30 in the morning.
Jesus.
And the only good news I got was that Canada wrote me and said, we've solved your problem.
Oh, okay.
So I decide, fuck it, I gotta go to sleep. I take 2 Xanax, which are still in me, so if I'm a little loopy. In fact, I left my coffee in the other room. I'll go get it.
You fool.
During our break. But anyway, I went to, finally I took 2 Xanax and whatever, and I guess I got to sleep at 4 in the morning. Only to wake up at 9:30 and go over to my phone and it's working.
Oh, there you go. Wasn't that fun?
Still can't figure. I suspect what it was, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I would have given up at the beginning.
I have what's called a VPN on the phone, and somehow the VPN for this company, I think, was down last night. Didn't even think about that, I just gotten to the point where I'm getting rid of all my technology. I don't want anything to do with it anymore. And on top of that, a couple of days ago, I went to the dentist, and it was horrible. It was a horrible experience. Chipped my front tooth.
Oh, my God.
You can't see it, but it's chipped. I can feel it. And the most painful time I ever spent in a chair. And I got to go back tomorrow for part 2 of the root canal.
Part 2.
And I've had root canals up the ass. In fact, they found a couple of teeth up there, and they did a root canal on them.
Sure.
And, no problem, So the worst thing is it's boring and you got to keep your mouth open for 45 minutes while this guy's doing all, but nothing that hurts, right? She was painful. Took her 5 shots of Novocaine to numb me. Yeah. So that and this and all of it, and I'm going, I've always feared death, but it's getting to look a little good.
Yeah.
maybe this is God's way of making it easy. As you go on.
It's the pain on the way.
Yeah, because they say only the good die young, so I guess that's why I'm so old.
Yeah. We went through a couple of
so your electricity went out. We had that.
Electricity went out at 2:30. It came out within a half hour, thank God. But I was just running around going, "Is it the fuse? What is it?"
Yeah.
Went outside. Everybody's lights are out. I go, "Fuck."
Do you know my friend Shecky? Have I ever mentioned my friend Shecky to you?
I never met a person actually named Shecky.
He worked for Letterman. Rick
Segman. I know Rick Segman.
Yeah. We call him Shecky. Letterman named him Shecky.
Okay, Shecky. Good name for him.
Because everybody's got to know a Shecky.
Yeah.
But anyway, his electricity went out 5 days. Oh. 5 days out in Queens.
Wow. I had no air conditioning for 8 days. That sucked.
I remember you were sweating like crazy.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
Came back on 8 days later.
But you got rid of that pimple on the side of your face, I know.
Oh, I saw it cleared up. See, like a baby's bottom now.
Yeah, when you had a piece of paper on for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, I still have it. It's going to go into the Smithsonian. It's going to be somewhere between the Spirit of St. Louis and Dillinger Schmeckel.
Yeah.
All the kids to see.
So,
and I'm also going into the hospital next month to have my AFib fixed, hopefully.
What? So, you have AFib?
Yeah, I've had AFib for a while. It sucks. So they're going to go through my little winky and go and spot weld a piece of my heart. And they said my heart was very strong, but if I had that done, I wouldn't have AFib anymore. So
okay.
Overnight. So
they can fix the AFib.
Oh yeah, they said rarely comes back, hardly ever, and They're gonna put me out before they put something up my weenie, so I won't panic and scream or anything.
Oh no, they don't worry. Most of
Give me those Keith Richards drugs, Daddy.
When I had my the seeds put in my prostate, which now I've got several tulips growing down there. It's really nice. But anyway, no, tulips would be bulbs. He didn't put in bulbs. He put in seeds. Anyway,
American seeds, kids. If you know 10 people.
When they did that, they didn't put me out. They said, we can't put you out. I said, why? They said, because of your age.
Wow.
I said, really? I mean, suppose I was having heart surgery. He said, well, then we'd have to. But if we don't have to, we don't have to. We can't put you out. And I went, well, what are we doing here? He says, oh, we're doing a spinal. Now, I had never had a spinal, and I didn't know what it was. And the guy goes to my back, and he did a few little, like, injection things. And I'm figuring, well, this isn't too bad. And they lie me down. And then he says, I'm going to just give you some intravenous Valium to make your life better. Oh, here's my watch is going off. Hold on a second. To make your life better. And what it was is it was kind of like being put out, except I was awake. And he's doing all this stuff, putting the seeds in and everything. But what I got to hear is what you don't normally hear when they put you out, is what they talk about while you're out. And it's things like, so what are you doing on Saturday? Well, I'm thinking of going blah, blah, blah,
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going, this is a real treat. I'm getting a show here. I'm getting to hear all the things they say. And afterwards, I said to one of them, I said to the anesthesiologist, I said, I heard everything that was going on. I heard what you guys talk about. He said, not very interesting, is it?
I think I heard something anti-Semitic there.
Yeah. And the guys in there, where they go in? Oh, they go in through your perineum. Okay, folks, what's a perineum? Anybody know? For $100.
Two neums. I don't know. Hey, but I gotta tell you.
Two neums, exactly. No, it's what you and I used to refer to as the taint.
The teat?
Taint.
The
taint cock, taint ass. It's that part in between.
So, the tweener, okay.
And then they go in there. And that's how they put in the seeds.
How about that?
Oh, I see a cat in back of you.
Oh, who's back? Who's in back of me? Oh, that's Siam.
Yeah, that's a Siamese. He's
the boss right there.
It's not really a Siamese though, is it? It's kind of half Siamese.
He's like silvery. I don't know. We found him when he was a baby, Snow White then.
Yeah.
We got his brother is right there. You can't see him. This is reminding me to wake up for your show.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right.
But I'm up already. The joke's on all of us.
So anyway, I told you, wrote you last night that I couldn't do it till 3 o'clock today because I figured I had to go down to the store, and then I couldn't get to sleep. So finally, I wrote you and said, "Can we do it Friday?" And then I wrote you, and I woke up this morning and it was all working. Going, you still want to do it?
Yeah, sure. I'm up for the finals.
Well, I figured, what? Come on.
Yeah.
This is COVID. You're not going anywhere.
Where am I gonna go? I go to the store, I come back. I go to the reefer store, I come back. What do you want?
Yeah, you don't have any gigs to go to.
Yeah, nothing. I'm taking in a roommate because I can't afford this place anymore.
Really? You had some gigs for a while.
Had enough. I had enough gigs, and then nobody's got gigs now, and I can't afford this place anymore, and I want to keep it. Yeah. So I'm taking in a roommate next month. Very nice.
So what's happening to all the other people who are out of work?
That's a good question. I don't know. I know guys who are like making a living working cruise ships, and none of the ships are sailing anymore. So
no, the cruise ships you can't do.
You can't do the cruise ships. You can't.
You can't do the clubs.
You can't perform on water. You can only perform on the sun. I don't know.
Somebody's got to reinvent comedy shows. I mean,
they got Zoom shows which are stupid because you really don't have a direct audience in front of you, and then they got those drive-in shows. I did one of those, which was okay, but I need chairs and tables and an audience.
Well, they could do it outdoors. They could, They've
been doing it outdoors, but some places can't do it now. So they got nothing here. So I think Lenny Clark is doing some shows in Boston. So not every place is shut down, but we're shut down here. Nobody's working here.
Lenny Clark, one of my favorite people of all time. And remind me the name Lenny Clark the next time we talk to you,
Okay, one of the kings of Boston.
Got one of the greatest stories of all time.
Oh, I know which one.
You know which one I'm talking about? Okay.
First you take the liver and then the hollandaise sauce and the.
Don't spoil it for everybody. But we're kind of running out of time here.
Oh, great TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, well, TikTok. We'll put them out of business, says Trump. Yeah. Anyway, good talking to you again, Stephen.
Good talking to you again, man.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is Stephen Pearl, and he's playing absolutely nowhere.
Ever. Kill me now.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Bop. Okay, that music doesn't have a bop on the end of it. Wait a minute, let me try that again. Here.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Don, there's one more note. There should be one more note there. Well, I guess there isn't. So, hello, everybody. How are you? My life sucks. Okay, that's all I got to say. It sucks, and I got to show you something. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me go over here. So, I've got SAG-AFTRA supplemental health insurance. You know, Medicare takes care of a certain part of it, and then SAG-AFTRA takes care of the rest. And with certain exceptions. I mean, they don't pay everything, but the drug thing is terrific. We get great drug prices, and it's really good. It's a great plan, and we were lucky to have it. Well, I say lucky to have it because they sent out a thing today saying, oh, we're changing our plan. And here's a simple little pamphlet that will show you how we're changing it. Look at this. Look at this. Right? And none of it makes any sense. Just all kinds of things, combining Plan 2 and Plan 1, and how you can get COBRA if you need it, and changes for retirees taking a SAG or AFTRA pension. Understand the plan eligibility rules. If you'll move to the new SAG-AFTRA health plan via benefits program, shop and enroll in coverages that are best fit for you. If you maintain active SAG-AFTRA health plan eligibility, know your premium costs and cost sharing between you and the plan. Confirm whether your spouse has access to employer-sponsored health coverage. Mine doesn't. Contact via benefits if you need help or have questions. Would you have questions for this much? And I think we're going to get screwed. I think I'm going to wind up not having health insurance at the rate this is going. All of a sudden, my union sucks. God bless it. Well, let me go put this over here for Marjorie to read in the morning, and she can try and figure it out because none of it makes any sense to me. But all I know is that I'm probably going to be left to go out and die, okay? Because, we need universal health care where I don't have to worry about this and you don't have to worry about it either, okay? All right? Okay. That's it, plain and simple. Well, oh, wait a minute. Oh, let me see here. Are we still on? Yeah, we're still on, aren't we? Let me see here. Yeah, okay. I touched something and it stopped it. Okay. Anyway, let me see here. Let me change a few things here. Okay. All right. Skip ads. Okay, we're ready to go. And then I wasn't on last night. I'll explain why in a little bit. It doesn't really matter. Life sucks. But this thing with the medical, at my age, medical is important for you. It saves your life. I'm sorry, I couldn't have paid the supplemental on my cancer thing that I had, with the prostate, if it weren't for this plan. And now this plan is changing, and the prescription medicine thing is changing, which we really loved. It was terrific. But we're going to have to go find alternate ways of handling this. It's just ridiculous. It's just horrible. Anyway, let's admit some of the people who are waiting in our waiting room out there. Gallery view. There we go. And we got. Let's see here. Oh, wait a minute. I got to take that jackpot off. We don't have a jackpot at this point. Hold on. Zoom panel, and I do away with the jackpot and do that, and there we go. Okay, now we're ready to go. I always screw up that way. Oh, here comes Robert Natali. Here we go. So I guess it's time for me to die because my medical plan is probably indicating that, so.
And that's the Republican plan.
Well, this is also what happens with SAG-AFTRA. I mean, the fact is we should have, Medicare for all, okay? Period. And 100%, not this 80% that Medicare pays. It sucks and it's horrible. And so I don't know what I'm going to do for medical insurance. I mean, maybe it doesn't affect me as much as I think. Maybe there are just a few changes, but it doesn't look good. So
nobody likes change.
No, I don't like change when it's fucking with my health, Phil.
Yeah.
You know, what makes you think with Medicare for all that you're going to be able to get everything you want?
Yeah, well,
No.
I will be able to because I'm getting Medicare now and I'm getting most of what I want.
Well,
Phil, why do you have to be so contrary on stuff like this?
I just asked you a fucking question.
I know you didn't ask me a fucking question. What you're saying is that what do I expect out of Medicare? I've been getting Medicare. I like Medicare. It's done a good job for me.
Well, I want one of those G6 things that constantly tell you what your sugar is. You wear this little thing on your sensor on your stomach, and then you have a device, and every 5 minutes it takes a sugar reading. Well, they said, well, Medicare won't pay for that because you're not on insulin. And I said, well, I don't want to get on insulin. That's why I want one of these Dexcoms.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not the panacea.
I get it. You don't
think
like
it.
Medicare, so don't take it.
Hey, it's what you got to take. As soon as you turn 65,
Hey, you don't got to take it.
into
No, you don't got to take it. You can go out and buy your own insurance.
They don't leave.
Wait a minute. No. I think I'll take it anyway. Okay, and begrudgingly, I'll take it.
Yeah, well, it is cheaper, but I'm finding out that there's a number of things that I don't get.
Phil, there are a number of things that you don't get with normal insurance companies.
I understand. So you're under the impression if you have Medicare for all that everybody's going to get.
What I'm saying is when you get sick, you go to the hospital, and when you leave, like in England, there's no bill. How does that sound to you?
But if you get into the hospital in the first place, you may not. We don't cover
No,
that.
that's not true.
Yeah.
There's only elective stuff that you have trouble getting in the hospital. Anything that's life-threatening, they get you in the hospital right fucking away.
So
They live longer than we live. They live 3 years longer than we live.
They got no teeth. But
I don't care.
Phil, they have a serious
discussion.
discussion without throwing something like that in.
Well, he said that in England they live longer.
Don't start with
They
me
do.
because
They
I've
live-
had
look
it.
at
I've
Google it.
I've had it with this whole show thing here. So just leave me alone, okay?
Yeah. All right. What happened to you last night?
I wasn't here.
I noticed.
You know.
Well, I didn't notice because I wasn't going to be there either.
Yeah. Well,
And
then
I'm not
that was every
gonna-
reason
No
for me to
Phil
be
night?
here.
Huh? Yeah. And no Phil tomorrow.
Good. Why?
Oh, good.
I have an online class that starts at 7:30.
Oh, okay.
My time.
Pilates.
No. It's AR-15 class.
Uh-huh. You're getting ready.
Yeah.
Do shooting online.
Armageddon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here,
shooting in your house?
Here's the syllabus for the teaching. Put finger on trigger, pull.
Pull.
Squeeze.
Yeah.
Supposed to squeeze. Not
Squeeze,
pull.
surprise
Squeeze.
break. Yeah.
Squeeze.
Yeah.
On site, squeeze.
No, I
Get
mean,
off the floor and repeat. Right.
yesterday, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Okay. So, you know, I woke up in the morning and it was wrong. Okay. Marjorie says to me, the TV set in the living room isn't working. I just woke up, you know, and now I'm fixing a television set. But that wasn't the first thing that broke yesterday. Everything in my life broke. And by the time I reached 4 o'clock in the morning, because I was online to one of my suppliers for the servers and so on, I just had it. You know, one thing after another. My phone went out on me. My cell phone completely would not work. I mean, get a signal of any sort. And this morning I woke up and it had fixed itself. But I had trouble with my Canadian server, and then GoDaddy went bad, and then my phone went bad, and the TV set didn't work. And it was one thing after another. So by the time I was finished, I just said, why do I even have anything to do with technology? You know, I'm so sick of having to deal with technology and making it work and getting it to work. And
Hey, Alex, when that happens to me, I usually just take a nap.
well, it's hard to take a nap. It was hard for me to get to sleep last night. Once I got off the line with GoDaddy. Was it GoDaddy that I was with at 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that? I couldn't go to sleep because my brain was just whirling around, and I took two Xanaxes last night to try and make me go to sleep, and that didn't put me to sleep.
Oh.
And then if it isn't enough, I get a call. I come in here. I was going to go to sleep at 11 because I figured I'd get up early, go down to AT&T, and get this phone fixed, right? But I can't go to sleep, so I'm potching around. I come in here, and I realize that Jack is supposed to be on, and I look, and the server here is still pumping out shows, and I'm going, what the hell happened to him? So I send him a text, and he calls me back, and he goes, well, I heard you weren't doing a show tonight, so I was just waiting for the thing to thing to switch over to my show. I said, what thing to switch over to your show? You know, I said, what happens is when I stop my show, it kills the feed, and yours kicks in. But when I'm not here, and you've done this before, you just go over there, turn off the encoder, and start your show. Oh, really? That was on top of everything else. Okay? So, I mean, it was one thing after another, and I just got to the point where I was saying, I don't need this. You know, I really don't need technology. I'm sick and tired of it. And I'm exhausted tonight. I'm absolutely exhausted. Don't start with me, Phil.
Well, I'm glad you're here tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm here.
Keeps us off the streets, Alex.
Yeah, I'm here but perhaps without medical insurance now. Well, we got to figure that one out next. Luckily, my wife's company pays for her medical, you know. So.
Go back a couple of topics. What problem on your TV was solved by just pulling the plug and putting it back in?
I have no idea.
Sounds like you got off easy.
Look, whenever something doesn't work, the first thing you do is pull the
sure,
plug.
but I'm just saying you got off easy on that one.
I got off easy, but it was the first thing I was faced with when I woke up in the morning.
I'll give you that.
Okay, that was the start of a horrendous day.
No, Alex, I got you beat in so many ways here. You can't even.
Yes, Bree.
Well, I mean, my latest is I caught 2 baby civet cats, and the mother keeps coming back to the attic to look for them. So I had to buy tiger pee gel, which I'll be spreading around. And my
I hate
CCTV
when that
cameras
happens.
are not working. My No, I won't go on, but I have a list of like 20 things that I got to do. And I'm just,
Yeah,
I'm
but
like
the
you, I'm
things you
like,
got to do, they're not things that broke. Everything in my life broke. And by
I
the
got
way,
things that-
everything in my life started coming back. I then got a note from the people up in Canada saying we think we solved your problem, which it turns out today they didn't. And then I then called GoDaddy this morning. He said you didn't do anything about it, and they took care of that. And then my phone mysteriously started working. What it turned out, here's an interesting thing you should know about this. Does anybody have like a VPN on their cell phone? On their,
I do.
Huh?
I do.
Yeah, and you do too. I have Nord, okay, and I think that's what comes now with an iPhone. But anyway, I have Nord, and last night my phone, right up at the top here, if you look, there's, battery, and then there's the Wi-Fi fan kind of thing, and then there's some bars for your service. It wasn't getting the Wi-Fi, and it wasn't connecting to the outside. Your
Nord was blocking it.
No, Nord was blocking it, but it was blocking it in a weird way. Apparently, I kept looking at the Nord thing, and it kept saying connecting, 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 connecting. But I didn't think that was the problem. What it turns out is that I found out this morning when I turned off the Nord VPN, I got that same effect. But everything else was still working after that. But the minute I would put on something to go out to the internet, it automatically turned on the VPN, and I got the fan, as it were, the radiation sign for Wi-Fi. So if you ever find that you have that problem, immediately go to the VPN, because I think what happened was Nord was out last night. And when it kept going to Nord, looking for it and looking for it and looking for it, it wouldn't do anything. Yes, Bree.
Royal flush at me.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right, so we could go one-on-one here, but then with mine, you also have to add the fact that whenever I call the service people, I have to deal with several, and usually they're using an accent I can't understand.
Oh well, that goes without question. That's a given. Yeah.
Okay. So I bought a Hitachi fridge, and I got a display model. And when I bought it, I asked the guy, anything wrong with this? No, but you might need to put some gas in it because it's been on display for 2 years. I'm like, what is gas? I think he means like the oil running the compressor. So I call Hitachi. They say, oh, that's covered, 1 year warranty. So I get it in, I plug it in. Everything's working fine, but all the cold air's coming out the front. I never knew if you buy a French door fridge, which you should never buy, the one that, opens like this.
Yeah.
It was missing this thing in the middle which has like 7 different names. Swinging partition, mullion door, French hinge.
Okay, cut to the chase on this story.
I can't find the part number. And so I've got a $900 fridge that I can't use because I can't find this one part.
Yeah.
And nobody knows what the part is called or what it does.
I'm going to tell you something. There's a new thing that I've come up with, and it seems to be so. And it's what I call COVID excuse. Okay? Every place you call and you go, oh, you accidentally hung up on me, their excuse is, well, we have a COVID thing going on out there. And I'm thinking to myself,
waiting on hold for support.
Yeah, I've been waiting on hold for the last 4 hours. Yeah. And it's because, we got the COVID thing, so please bear with us. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you fast enough. What? My
it's on
feeling.
Their websites too. I was just looking at one, and it's not about. It will be delayed. COVID-19.
But my point is, hey, you're working from home. Yeah. That's probably a more comfortable situation than you got when you're at work. And you're still answering my call, and you still have the computer there that's linked to the system, okay? So why do I have to wait 10 hours to talk to someone? Oh, well, we have a COVID problem. You've heard about the COVID problem. Yeah, right. Yeah. I couldn't do
I'm sorry,
Bigger-
Phil.
I was
Okay.
going to say I couldn't do my show last night because COVID. COVID.
Yeah. One of the biggest problems with the COVID thing is that the downstream suppliers are not getting parts. Stuff coming from China is delayed. There's a bunch of things. It's not just the guy sitting behind the computer. It's all the ancillary things that support them that are being affected. And, it probably is true.
Well, I mean, it may be true to a certain extent, but they're using it as the excuse for everything.
Feels that way. But,
no. I mean, I have to go get a test because I have to have my eyes worked on. I have to go get a test before they can do the eye thing.
COVID?
And, no, not a COVID test, just some kind of a test. I don't know. It's probably something that just, is covering his ass, But I have to do that. You know when I have an appointment at Mount Sinai? The first week in November. My eyes are killing me right now, okay? November. Well, the reason it's November is, the woman's away on vacation. I said, where the fuck is she going to go? I mean, hasn't she heard? You can't, here's the irony of ironies. I just got my new passport. Do you think I can use it?
Is it
I got
November?
my guest room all fixed up for you.
Huh?
Is it November because
My
of
guest
elective?
room is coming along. It'll be ready in about a week or two.
Yeah. Is it a November because of elective surgeries or?
No, it isn't an elective surgery. It is just a test they do. I'm having the elective surgery over to doctor's office, and he can do any elective surgery he wants to.
But he's got to cover his ass.
And by the way, you'd be happy to know he's the brother-in-law of our Secretary of Finance, or what's his name? That dopey guy? Huh? Mnuchin. He's Mnuchin's brother-in-law.
Oh, poor Alex.
So no. I like this guy because he says the whole family hates Mnuchin. So.
Since this is gripe night about service and that sort of thing, here's my question.
Okay.
Why is it when I call Amazon and they put me on hold, they play such shitty music?
Yeah.
Oh, listen. Hey,
They've got a fucking catalog of music from here to Kalamazoo.
I relish Amazon music compared to the music at GoDaddy. For the last 5 or 6 years that I've used GoDaddy, hold music is the same goddamn song.
But Amazon has music.
But they probably don't
All
license
world
it.
after
Wait a
all.
minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
You
Let me
know
see.
what you do to fix that?
Yeah.
What?
Go to their little gizmo thing and then have them call you.
Oh yeah, you're right.
No,
It's
but
a
they,
good
but
idea.
they,
you
but
right back.
no, but
You're
they,
right.
they don't. GoDaddy. I can't get them to call me back. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but Amazon has that thing, just like Apple.
Well,
does.
Amazon
You
has
put
that
in your
thing.
number and it shoots
But
it
this
right
is
back
wait a
and
minute.
you
Let me
connect
just
right away.
let me just get. Let me see if I can put the GoDaddy music on here. Let me
No,
see here.
please don't.
Well,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I want you to
Shit rings
hear
in your
what.
head. Okay, I'm putting you on mute.
Okay, wait a
All
minute. Hold on a
world
second.
after
Hold
all.
on a
Small
second.
world.
That's what it does.
Hold on a
It's
second.
Just like that damn song too. Phil, I'm putting you on mute now.
Wait a minute. Let me turn on the speaker.
You're experiencing longer wait times. Your call will be answered in the order it was received. No. Thank you for calling GoDaddy. Para español.
Watch, they'll answer real quick now.
Yeah.
Just to mute this
Your call may be
crap. Where is it?
monitored and recorded to ensure quality customer service.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
horrible.
Priority service, please help us validate your account. It looks like your phone number matches more than one account. If you know your customer number, press 1. Otherwise, press 2.
I'll press 2.
Your customer number is in the top right corner of all emails that you receive from GoDaddy. If you need time to look up your customer number, press 1 now.
No.
If you do not have access to your customer number, press 2.
Could have said that immediately.
Looks like you are having trouble accessing your account. I'm a GoDaddy virtual assistant here to help you. Would you prefer to use your domain name, email address, or customer number?
Play music.
If you knew the customer number, you wouldn't be going through this.
Wait a minute. Oh, well. I can't.
Bear with me just a moment. I didn't catch that.
Would-
Which do you want to use? Your domain name, email
Just
address,
keep saying
or
customer
number?
service. We'll put you on
Customer
hold.
support.
There you go.
Okay, I'm putting you on mute right now.
Really?
One moment while I connect you to a
Oh, here we-
GoDaddy guide for help.
Here we go.
Listen carefully as we have changed some of our menu
Yeah,
options.
I love that.
If you're calling to reset your GoDaddy
10
password,
minutes.
Oh, forget it. Forget it. But they have this music. Believe me. In fact, online somewhere they actually have the GoDaddy online music. So let's see here. GoDaddy online
Probably on
music.
YouTube.
Nice when you call Apple, they give you a
Crap my
choice
company played.
and
I always-
include no music.
And I always choose no music.
Let's see here.
Me too.
How to get music?
Open for banana phone.
Add SoundCloud audio. No, how can I add audio files? None of it. I can't find it. I'll find it and play it some other night. You just hear it over and over and over again, and you can say to them, "I don't want the music." So they don't play the music, but every 30 seconds a woman comes in and says,
Right?
Are
That's
you
more annoying.
Yes. Are you?
Yeah.
If you want, you're a GoDaddy customer and you want to start a business. Cool. You know, they try to be really hip. Cool. Really cool. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, no.
You know, bullshit. Just bullshit. You know. But hey, you know, they're changing my my health here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have my medical supplement going here because you know, the COVID.
Yeah.
It's because of the COVID. It's also because we got a president who doesn't take care of people. He has no compassion for the human race.
That's not true. He likes one person.
Yeah, Donald Trump. Yeah,
Himself.
yeah. He does have compassion for himself. You know. Oh, why is it nobody likes me, but they like Dr. Fauci? Yeah, we. You know.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What do you
do.
think?
I do her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Biden's gonna do her.
Yeah.
He's just
likes
going to
white
cut
guys.
the hair.
She is.
Hey,
She
Jill looks
is.
pretty
She
cool, too.
is beautiful. She is smart. She's accomplished. I think they picked somebody. He picked somebody pretty good. You know. Well, I've been saying her all along. If you've been listening to this program, and I think she's the right person for the right job. You know, and smart, and you know, you can't go after her on Law and Order. You know,
Right.
she was a district attorney, and she got, you know, prosecuted a lot of people in her time.
She's gonna rip Pence up.
Huh? Oh, she'll rip Pence to shreds.
Pence is a putz.
Yeah.
But I think when they're talking though, I think she's, you know, it's the team thing, and she's going to say we are out to turn this over, and we are doing this. She does it like that as a team with her and Biden. They'll do really good.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, I mean,
Phil's turn.
well, Phil's not talking now.
I know.
I got about 100 friends lighter
Does
too.
anybody, does anybody else have
Here's the problem.
Problem.
Here's the problem, Phil. Donald Trump, okay, is not responsible for the coronavirus. Okay? Perhaps neither are the Chinese, but he certainly isn't responsible for the COVID crisis, and I'll give him that. It happened under his watch, and he's being blamed for a lot of things. What he's being blamed for is his lack of doing anything about it, or even hopping on the train and getting this thing taken care
Alex,
of. You know,
I heard yesterday he's still doing some kind of daily briefing or something because there was shots fired outside the White House, and they're like, President Trump delayed his COVID briefing. I'm like, what? He's still giving a briefing?
Every
I had no
day,
idea he's still
every
doing that.
day, every day, and he
Public
just
relations.
he reads it today. He had a bunch of graphs that made no sense at all. You know, I mean, the man's losing his mind.
Who's
All
covering
he's
it?
doing is
Every-
reporting the
every
same
student covering it.
statistics on his testing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
They have a great.
Is
They have a
anybody
great
showing
look.
it under the
What'd
box?
you say, Tito?
Is anybody covering that stupid thing except Fox?
Fox covers it. Yeah, Fox covers it, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
does OAN. But even Newsmax doesn't cover them.
Yeah.
They have a great clip. They have a great clip of, when he had that interview a couple days ago, the one where he showed all the papers, his charts and graphs. They have Trump, but they went and they clipped Trump against himself in that same interview, and they kept showing each other the graphs, and they're like arguing with each other about the numbers. It's so funny.
Wow.
If you want to laugh, go listen. I won't talk too much about it because it goes on forever. But if you want to laugh, listen to Trump answering Sean Hannity's question, which effectively was, what do you think of Kamala Harris? And he goes on and on for a solid 5 minutes with no punctuation damn near, and doesn't say the name Harris once. He starts talking about Pulitzer Prizes. It's just like a ramble that goes on. If you have the 5 minutes, go listen to it.
Well, I mean,
It'll
but
make you shake your head.
that's literally almost every interview he does these days. I mean, he just goes on a rant. And, I thought the smartest thing he could have done when it came to his comments about Kamala Harris is he probably just should have said the following. Well, I think he made a good choice. And leave it at that. Because everybody knew he was going to call her some name and say she was nasty and all of that. Surprise everybody. Just say, good choice. We'll see you at the ballot box in November. And
well, that's what Pence said.
Well, yeah. Well, Pence is a little more politically.
He's a better politician.
He's a better politician. Yeah. But we all knew what he was going to say about Kamala Harris.
Don't you forget that Mike Pence was supposed to be in charge of the response to COVID-19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what happened to that?
What response? That's what I want to know.
Well,
as I say, I'll give it to Trump.
Public relations.
I'll give it to Trump that, hey, the coronavirus happened, and it happened on his watch, and he had to deal with it. But he didn't deal with it. He completely was absent at the party, And
the governors had to do
it. The governors had to do it, and he just it was like he just didn't have the ability to muster anything together to try and solve the problem. And that's why you're president, for crying out loud, to do something, to lead the country in direction, to have a plan of attack to take care of this, and he failed the country on that. As a result, 165,000 people are now dead.
That was their problem.
That's why we're the #1 country in the world for COVID right now, is because we didn't do it. Yes, what is that? 3 days to slow the spread, 120. A lot of.
That went well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's amazing. Here in New York, we still continue to have good figures. We have the largest amount of people that have ever been tested in one day. It's something like 79,000, I think. And of it, only a certain amount, of course, had it. But the percentage was, I have it here. I think I still have it here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, here it is. They did 87,776 diagnostic tests in one day, and a rate of only 0.79% of testing positive. That's almost negligible. I mean, it's amazing. We just don't have it. It's not infectious here. 700 were positive, and we lost 7 New Yorkers to the virus yesterday. 558 total hospitalizations. But when you compare this to other countries, I mean, other countries curbed it and got on the better side of this whole thing.
Well, I mean, we think so. New Zealand is having a reoccurrence
Yeah,
now. Too.
yeah.
But they had 5 cases.
Yeah, 4 or 5 cases.
Well,
Some
it's more than that. I mean, you can't have 4 or 5 cases. That's
Howard,
impossible.
That's
isn't
the news.
actually
They
that's
had
what
no
they claim.
cases for a whole week.
Howard, isn't Hawaii the
Oh.
new hotspot? They
Yes.
said that the cases
They're
are
on our
growing.
list now.
Yeah.
If you
Where's that
consider
list?
Oahu 200 cases a big deal, yes.
Where's that list, Alex?
What list?
That you said they're on our list now. Where do you see that? Where do you find that list?
If you go to New York State, and I think they have the list there of the states
Oh, okay.
that are they're. It's not they're banned from New York, but they're asked to quarantine themselves if they come here.
I got an interesting email from my senator today, Mark Warner.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "We are so proud to announce we're the first state to offer an app that will track COVID cases." So I downloaded the app, put it on my phone, and the way it works is it doesn't transmit any personal data, and it doesn't use GPS or anything. What it does is it sends Bluetooth notifications. So if I come in contact, if I have my phone with me and I come in contact with anybody else who is honest, because you have to report whether you've gotten COVID or not,
Yeah.
it will say to you, you've been exposed. So that's kind of cool. We're the first state that has an app. I downloaded
That's very
it. I have it
good.
on my phone.
That's very
Yeah.
good. We don't even have that here.
Yeah.
You know.
Got it today.
They've
I
been doing
downloaded
that
it.
in China for quite some time. My son has it on his phone. It's a requirement there, actually.
Actually, I think they did it in South Korea too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's illegal in Texas. You cannot have an app like that.
Doesn't make any sense.
It gets in the
Texas
way
doesn't
of
make
your
any sense.
AR-15. That's the problem.
Yeah. It gets in
Yeah,
the
we,
way.
we did pretty good for quarter 2. So for our company, we're trying to hit our target of 7% increase over the previous quarter, and we were 126% increase of revenue.
Wow.
So last year we made $1 billion revenue, and now just from last quarter is $525 million. So
525 million?
yeah, just for last quarter. So I think we're like 800,000 already, or 800 million already. So we're going to hit $1 billion probably next month. And it took us a whole year to do that last year as the first
Do
time.
you get a bonus? That's my question.
That's what I was going to say. Where's that bonus?
My
Trip
new
to
job, I
Valley.
got more money and less stress. So that's good enough for me.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. That's cool. But anyway, so we got Kamala Harris. I think it was a good choice. She was the one that I think I was touting all along because I felt she came with the least baggage, you know, and the most most credentials. And Susan Rice.
But Alex, do you like her voice?
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
It's like
But
nasally.
yeah, but you know something? The words coming out of that nasally voice are really well said and stated, and I like her. You like her, Robert?
I do. Well, I do. She wouldn't have been my first choice, but here's the way I look at it. Biden chose to try diversity, much like when McCain got the nomination, he tried diversity and picked an asshole, you know, so
Well,
it's a little
that
like
is
trying to
that is
balance the
diversity
ticket.
because most assholes don't get asked to the party.
That's right.
You know, so that is diversity.
Yeah, I saw a story that Sarah Palin was giving advice to
Yes.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That's comedy.
Yeah.
What?
He's going to tell her, make sure you read and you know what you're reading.
But did we have this on the other day, or did it just come? Did it come over the weekend? And it got to me that Trump was in discussions with his people about getting his face on Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That came
Yeah.
out.
The White House reached out to ask if he could be added to.
Yeah, I support that. I support that.
Yeah, but it's a picture of his ass on Mount Rushmore.
He'd be there with other racists.
He's been working on this for a while.
Well, now
Yeah.
let me do something dangerous here. Let me ask Phil what he thinks of Kamala Harris.
One word, phony. I think she's she'll say anything, do anything. She's a total phony.
I thought that's not one
As
word.
opposed to Trump,
That
who
was a
only
whole. That was
says
a whole.
exactly what needs to be said.
Bree, is that a whataboutism? He asked me, Harris. She's a phony. And as a prosecutor and as a attorney general, I think she was one of the worst.
So name somebody in the public eye, a politician who's
Holy
not phony.
shit.
Okay, so let me put it this way, Phil. You're not a Democrat, but let's ask you this:
Neither am I.
If he had to pick a person that would keep you happy, who should he have picked?
Trump. No, a person that would keep me happy. Nobody. If it was limited to the group of people that he limited himself to, I would say the Tulsi Gabbard. I think she's a genuine person and a good person, and I don't think she's a phony.
Well, then how come if you like
Howard
good
doesn't
people,
agree,
why are you so high on Trump? Because he isn't a good person.
I'm not a Tulsi fan.
No,
Yeah, I don't think you need a nice person. I don't think you want a nice person in this situation. You want somebody who's not going to take crap from that side.
Maybe somebody that just does the job. That's the way Gabbard appeared to me. I mean, I didn't see her as a Democrat or a Republican.
Well, she's from Hawaii, so Howard would have a bigger insight on that.
Howard,
Yeah, I'm not a Tulsi fan.
Why
Personally.
is that, Howard?
Tulsi is very pro Putin. You seem to really do you view Putin as a force for positive positivity in the world, or do you think he's a force for evil?
Well, say nice stuff because he has the vaccine now.
Yeah, I think that he should have chose Tito Aptos.
Postos.
Now, if he didn't have to choose from his current group of people, I don't know if Lieberman is too old, but I kind of like Lieberman.
Maron, yes. He's got one foot in it and the other on a banana peel.
I don't know how old he is, but I thought he was a guy that could be trusted.
What is that? Oh, is that the vaccine? That's the
That's the Russian vaccine.
That's the Russian vaccine.
It's vodka.
No, it's called Sputnik.
I understand
Sputnik V.
the Russian vaccine is based on potatoes.
So is vodka.
Sputnik V, I think it's called, isn't it?
Sputnik 5.
But I think it's V, not 5. Yeah. Oh, that's a bottle of Smirnoff, and I see. I couldn't see it that well. Okay. There you go. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
That may just work.
Hmm. Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes, Jeff.
One thing is, I was impressed with Biden, his discussion tonight. He was great.
His speech, yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, I think he's been getting some training on how to speak better. I thought he was terrific.
Well, I thought it was quite good, but why? I don't know why. Okay, look, I hate bashing Trump. No, I actually like bashing Trump, but I hate bashing Trump. But at some point, doesn't he say to himself, "I am the worst public speaker alive"?
Yeah.
I read in such a way that I could make even Shakespearean prose sound boring. He has a total inability to read. He doesn't know how to give a speech. And you would think he would have said to somebody, teach me, give me a few, pointers on this, because it doesn't take long to get you up to speed on that, But he just sits there reading like some kid who's been forced to read. Okay, Jimmy, it's time to read in class. Turn page. Turn page. He turns the page a lot because the letters are that big. But I mean,
saying the same stuff.
Yeah.
Same stuff. Everything. He keeps going about the same stuff, saying the same thing. He stopped coronavirus millions. He saved millions of lives. The writer for him, I don't know what they're doing. Just cut and paste and move a couple words around.
I'll tell you something. She's pretty. When I think about Hillary Clinton, compared to that run for the White House and this run, it's like night and day. This one is doing everything right, okay? And, you know, Joe Biden's an old guy, but he's attractive and he's personable. And he's the kind of guy who, you know, some of those Midwest working men would like, okay? And Kamala Harris is the kind of woman who a lot of other women will like too. I think they're lined up to just sweep this thing. But today I heard something that scared me. Trump's given his rambling speech in which he's reading from the page, blah, 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 and then he ad-libs a little bit, and blah, 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 and he ad-libs again. And then he goes into this whole ramble about how the election is going to be rigged.
Of course.
You know, it's going to be rigged. He's already setting up the scenario if he loses. And he's going to say, he's already saying, if I lose, it's because the Democrats stole the election.
He said 2016.
Yeah. Do you believe that, Phil? Do you really believe that?
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear him say those things. I do believe that the Democrats have a track record of rigging elections. The DNC, the superdelegates.
Wait a minute.
So,
name one.
Total bullshit.
What happened in 2016 to Bernie Sanders?
No. That's not winning.
It's not an election.
That's not an election.
Well, it's the election. It's interference.
It's not an
with
election. No, that's infighting
It's
within a party.
interference.
Wait a minute. That has you said I talked about rigging an election.
Right, and that's what they did.
No, they didn't because there was no election, Phil.
That you're splitting hairs.
No, what do you mean I'm splitting hairs?
It was on the way to the election.
No, it wasn't on the way to the election.
If you don't see that, you've got so many blinders on. You couldn't see your nose.
Okay, so the Republican Party rigged this year's primary. They didn't let anybody get on any of the ballots to challenge Trump, and there would have been plenty that got on.
No, who ran against
it?
A couple of guys declared, but they didn't make any effort, and they could have got it. They're on the ballot.
No, they couldn't.
If they got the names and the signatures.
All the states wouldn't allow it. They couldn't get on the ballot. They tried.
I think you're making that up.
No. No, but you know who can get on the ballot? Kanye West. Why? Because Trump wants him on.
I think Kanye West would have been a good guy for Biden.
Yeah.
I think that Kanye could take a percentage or two. He could definitely get a percentage or two. If
Well,
Kim
that's why his part of his run is being paid for by the Republicans.
He doesn't need much. You know, some of the states that Trump won, he only won by a couple thousand votes.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
It doesn't take much.
Charlie, it's time for your nightly black voter for Kanye West speech.
Not one black person who was planning on voting for Joe Biden would switch his vote to Kanye West. Not even one.
I don't know one song that Kanye West ever did, and I have never seen one piece of clothing that he's designed that
They wouldn't fit you, Phil.
What?
They wouldn't fit you.
Oh, that's true. But you know, I remember that there was a guy from the Black Panthers that moved to Cuba, and he
Eldridge Cleaver.
and he designed a pair of pants that had zipper in the front and all the way up the back.
Mm-hmm.
At least Eldridge Cleaver had, you know, something designed. What has Kanye West ever designed?
I have no idea, but he makes a lot of money off of it. Whatever he designs.
Who? Hoodies? Yeah.
Hoodies.
Who's the guy that's got the Beats headphones?
That's Dr. Dre.
Dr.
Oh,
Dre.
okay. So that's not
He
Kanye.
sold those. Apple has them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sold the company for $1 billion.
They
How
fall
many?
apart, by the way.
Well, I don't care if they do or they don't. I wouldn't buy them.
Yeah,
And Monster Cable made millions and millions off of that.
Really?
My friend's a secondhand man to the guy who started Monster.
Mm-hmm. What
Yeah,
did they
he's
buy?
in
Did they buy into Beats?
Yeah, because remember they had the cable there.
Mm-hmm.
They had the cable on there before they had all the wireless. So.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think that's Dr. Dre. I think it's 50 Cent.
No, I think it's Dr.
Okay.
Dre. No, it's Beats.
Dr.
Beats
Dre
is
did
Dr.
it.
Dre.
I think Alex is right.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
But I like what Snoop's into.
What? Well,
He was smart to invest.
What, pot?
Yeah. Him and Willie.
Yeah.
yes, you're right. God, Willie's still alive, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I just saw him
Willie's
play
small.
December 31st.
How old is he now?
80 something.
Yeah, he's like 85.
Yeah.
86.
Looks
Yeah,
older
I'll
than
tell
that. He really is. He looks like a overused Moroccan wallet.
Yeah, he was on,
But he's moving.
87.
He's fine.
87. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was on Bill
87,
Maher
yeah.
like a month ago.
Who? 87. Who did I see was? You know? Do you know who the oldest person is in Hollywood? The oldest actor?
It's not Summer Redstone.
Yeah, he passed.
Not Carl Reiner anymore.
Yeah, Carl
It was
Reiner.
well. Olivia de Havilland, who just died at 104, I think it was.
Yeah.
Was number 2 to this person,
Really?
Norman Lloyd.
Wow.
He's
Not Harold Lloyd. Norman Lloyd?
Norman Lloyd.
no.
Yeah,
Don't know.
Norman Lloyd. Did you ever see Sabotage, where the guy falls from the Statue of Liberty
No.
in Hitchcock picture?
Yeah.
That was Norman Lloyd.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's 105 years old, and he's very close. He produced the Alfred Hitchcock TV show and directed a lot of the episodes, and he was worked with Orson Welles. He was part of the Mercury Theater. He's still alive, 100, I think 105, maybe 106.
He's still alive?
Yep. Yep. And still got all his marbles. I've seen interviews with him. I mean, he's sitting in a chair because I don't know if he can stand up, but he really still got all his marbles.
Yeah,
And
but
so-
he's got SAG-AFTRA insurance, so he's
yeah,
cooked.
he's got SAG-AFTRA insurance. Well, not after the first of the year, because once they change this, he might not even be able to afford it.
He's cooked.
Yeah. You know, so it just says nothing in that thing about whether I still get dental. There's nothing like that in there. We have no idea
No.
what we get and don't get.
But then it didn't change. If it doesn't mention dental, then it didn't change.
Well,
It's
who
the
knows?
opposite. If
The
it
opposite.
doesn't say you've got it,
You don't get it.
you don't have it.
Yeah. So,
You know, they probably mentioned what the changes are. Have you read it?
yes, I looked at it. It makes no sense at all.
Huh.
I'm gonna have Marjorie call up the union and find out how it changes our
They probably
insurance.
excluded COVID.
No, no. But you know, I mean,
And asbestos.
you know, enough of this kind of stuff with companies doing that. I mean, insurance companies are goners. And SAG-AFTRA isn't an insurance company, but they have to deal with the insurance companies, and these are the changes they're making. It's terrible. It's just terrible. You know, I don't know what I'm going to do about dental care. I don't know what I'm going to do about all my medicines. You know, you know how much.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
If it's drastic, can you get on Marjorie's insurance and then have it supplemental back? to
Well,
that?
they'll have to go back, put her back on their full deal with.
'Cause that's what I do with my wife.
Well, it'll cost them about $20,000 a year. Right now, it's costing them about $2,000 a year to supplement ours.
Right.
You know.
But she could put you on as a
yeah, they're
dependent,
good.
right?
Yeah, I think she can. Yeah, but you know.
It's only 20%. It's only covering the other 20%. Right?
Yeah, well, that's why we thought it was all wrong that they were charging her company like $20,000 a year, because all they were having to pay was 20%.
20%.
You know,
Right.
But it's not a supplemental plan, and they don't offer one. So
Yeah.
you know,
Because my Social Security is covering the 80, and then the other 20 is covered by my wife's insurance.
yeah.
Hey,
Which works out
everybody
well.
that's on Medicare, I understand that this Part D that I have, which is the supplemental, I would imagine. There's something else that you can get that's better, but nobody will tell me what it is.
What is that?
Well, there's no another part to put on Medicare, but there are supplemental insurance.
Anything to take care of the gap?
Well, you don't have the gap if you go get a supplemental insurance policy.
But I have the gap, and I have the supplemental.
Well, I'm saying
through
no, but you have the supplemental through
Kaiser.
Oh, through Kaiser. Then the supplemental must be to it must be to Medicare Part D. You can get a supplemental.
That's the prescription plan.
Yeah, but I reached a certain point, and now I'm paying 30% of retail or something, and I'll continue to do that until the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't have that because my state health insurance covers my drug.
Oh.
So I pay nothing. I have what they have in Europe. I go to the doctor, I don't get a bill. I go to the hospital, I don't get a bill.
Me
That's
too.
Obamacare.
Oh, I want what you guys have.
Yeah.
That's because of Medicare. That's because of working 27 years for the state of Texas at about 70% of what I could have made in the private sector.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm getting my money back.
Yeah.
I don't see no bills.
I don't even see an EOB.
Oh, I still get bills. I still get bills, but
I've had 4 surgeries since I got on Medicare. Not a penny. Not a penny.
Really?
Awesome.
Really?
Well, it should be.
Medicare for all.
Does anybody miss sitting down at a restaurant? I went out to dinner last night.
I'm going out tonight.
Yeah, they had you sitting in a open air area that had umbrellas over it.
Yeah. Well, what's wrong with that?
It was okay, but I'm tired of takeout and eating in my car.
But that's not takeout.
Come to Maui. I'm going out for sushi tonight.
Yeah, you gotta, don't you have to hide?
Yeah, but now your COVID's going up, so.
We had two
Quarantine?
cases on Maui.
What?
150,000 people. You do the math.
Yeah, but don't visitors have to quarantine for 2 weeks?
Yeah, well, they're not letting visitors in, or you got to quarantine.
So where was the COVID coming from?
Probably Oahu, because see, they had the 200 and then yesterday 120. So all it would take is one of them to come to, that's why they shut down inter-island flights. So here's interesting. I'm allowed, because I'm on Maui, I'm allowed to go to Kauai, Molokai, Lanai, Big Island. But if I go to Oahu, then I got to quarantine for 14 days. But if I go to any of those other islands, I can come back same night or whatever, no problem.
But you're on what island?
That's the dirty island.
Maui.
You're on Maui. Okay. You're not.
What's the island that has all the munitions on it that they don't let anybody go on?
Oh, Kaho'olawe. I guess I can go visit that one too. There's nothing but bombs there.
Kaho'olawe, yeah.
See if you come back.
I never heard of Kaho'olawe.
Yeah, they used to have good diving there.
Yeah, they used it as a dumping ground to just dump and use it and bomb the hell out of it to the point where nobody can live there anymore.
By the way,
munitions.
Bree is having lunch.
It's that time.
Right now.
Yeah.
Why not? It's lunchtime.
Oh, it's lunchtime in. What time is it there right now? Is it? It's 12-hour difference between here in New York. And
Yeah, you just reversed the time.
Yeah.
Howdy doody time.
So you're in the same.
looks
You're in
good.
the same time zone as China.
Yes.
Although China, this is interesting about China. The entire country is the same time zone.
That's right.
They rather than chop it up into like 5 different time zones or whatever, like the
Do
United
they have
States does,
daylight
they keep-
saving time?
I have no idea. Yes, they. No, I don't know.
I don't think they do.
We don't have it.
All I know is
But
right
those,
now.
Those 3 a.m. sunrises must be fun.
Yeah.
Yes,
No, we're near the equator.
you're near the
We're very
equator.
close
I know,
to
but
the equator.
China should have about 5 time zones. So if it's,
Yeah, but it doesn't because they don't want to confuse things. So they.
that's what I'm saying. Some
Yeah.
places gonna be getting sunrises at like 3 a.m.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So what? It's 11:48 tomorrow, Friday.
yeah. Yeah, it's right.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
because I'm
11
thinking
12 hours ahead.
you're saying it's the same time, but that's East Coast.
You can get up here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, so yesterday I got very frustrated about everything, and you know, I started to say, why am I letting electronics just screw up my life? So I'm thinking of stopping using all electronics, except very essential ones. You know.
Like what do you mean by
Vibrator?
Well, maybe I could start with using my phone as a phone, okay, and not
You mean you
worry
want to be Larry Bubbles?
and not worry about whether it does any of the other functions, the 87 other functions.
What was
Because
the
you think
character?
Larry Bubbles Brown is going to outlive you?
I think Larry Bubbles Brown has the right idea.
What was
Yeah.
the character on Better Call Saul that played the brother that didn't want any electronics or electricity in his home?
Yeah, it was his brother.
Or whatever his name was. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but he was afraid. He was afraid of the electrical waves.
field. Yeah, the field.
Magnetic fields.
Yeah,
and
I'm not
stuff, yeah.
afraid of that. I said to myself yesterday, I've just spent the whole day having a problem with this damn phone not being able to get it to work, and I'm calling not Apple, but I called AT&T. They couldn't get it to work, you know, and I'm going crazy about it. It turned out to be very simple, and I figured it out. I last night as I'm going to bed, I just went, I see no reason why I should do anything with this but make a phone call. You know? I mean, why? Why do I do anything else? You know? And I do this show every night, and I go, why do I do it? You know?
For us.
Yeah, I do it for you. I really do at this point.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
You know? Because I like you guys. Well, most of you.
Oh.
Hey, Alex.
Feelings almost mutual.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
Have you heard Lucas Nelson, Willie's son?
No.
He sounds just like him.
Oh, really?
It's scary.
Really?
Okay, hold on.
Oh, no, don't play any music. Don't play any
No,
music. No, don't play any
that.
music, Howard. Can't do
All
that.
right.
Can't do that.
I'm on mute.
Otherwise,
trouble.
Otherwise, I get a notification from YouTube saying
Oh,
you can't
yeah,
monetize the show.
Yeah. I don't want to get you spanked.
I wonder if
And you need the money.
Yeah, they have an electronic doojiggy that listens, and if you play a song, it knows what song you're playing. And I've tried to figure out. I've looked online to see if there's a way you can work your way around that, like running some kind of low pitched sound. They say if you play the music at 10% faster than it is, they can't identify it.
Rob might know. How do you beat Shazam?
How do you beat it?
Yeah, how do you game the Shazam?
I don't know that you can.
How do you beat though the algorithms that like YouTube uses to decide if you're playing copywritten music? I was told that if you play it, I was told if you play it at least at a faster speed, but you can lower the pitch so it doesn't sound faster. Okay, that they can't identify it. That's what I heard. I haven't tried it yet.
But Tony Bennett sounds like Alvin the Chipmunk.
No. If you speed him up 10%, but you lower the pitch 10%, he's just singing faster. That's all. You know. So I don't know. I don't know how you do that. It's got a way to do it. Yeah, Tyson's Acosta says Norman Lloyd is still alive. I just said that, Tyson's. Said I believe he's 105. What?
What do you think of Geraldo Rivera?
You mean Jerry Rivers?
Yeah, Jerry Rivers.
Geraldo
He
and
buried
I,
his ass.
we had a thing for years going on,
Yeah.
in which he would go on. He went on CNN on Larry King, I think, and did 5 minutes on me. And
Yeah.
how I had started this rumor that his name was really Jerry Rivers and not Geraldo Rivera, and blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't a rumor, it was true. When he was trying to get a job working in radio and television stations, to deny his ethnicity, which is questionable in and of itself, he used the name Jerry Rivers. There are literally videos of him saying Jerry Rivers reporting, and he denied that that was ever true. But all of a sudden, Channel 7 here in New York was deciding they wanted to hire a more ethnically diverse news team. And so he walked in the door and said, "My name, Geraldo Rivera," and the rest is history. And they hired him.
Yeah, now he's a Trump sycophant.
He's very disappointing.
Yeah.
He doesn't get along with Dan Bongino.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, he married Kurt Vonnegut's daughter at one point. Yeah, married to Kurt Vonnegut's daughter. And I used to, make fun of him on cable, doing bits about Geraldo Rivera and his wife, Kurt Vonnegut's daughter. And I'm driving down the street one night in my car, and I look over in the other car, and there's Geraldo Rivera with a woman that's not his wife.
Oh.
And I yell out the window, "Hi, Geraldo, how are you?" And he's kind of going,
Who are you? Yeah.
yeah. Geraldo's a piece of work, but in later years he came on the show and we made up, or he thought we made up. I just never liked the guy, Always considered him a phony, Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's, in bed with Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm. No, that would be Willie Brown. Did you see Willie came out and said she shouldn't take the vice presidential nod, that she'd make a better attorney general? Which I kind of agree that that's a better job, because you're able to actually do stuff, Whereas vice president, you're kind of,
Yeah, but
you're cutting ribbons.
I think the vice president's main job is to get the president elected.
Yeah.
Yep.
But she would
It'll
make
work.
If she becomes vice president, she will be doing the president's job.
What makes you say that?
If he dies, she'll be the president.
He looks pretty healthy.
Yeah.
You know who doesn't look
He
healthy?
looks more healthy than Trump does.
Trump does
looks
not
like
look
he's-
healthy. Trump,
No, he doesn't.
He
Trump
lumbers
needs
in.
to eat another burger.
Huh?
Trump needs to eat another burger.
Yeah.
Or some more KFC.
They should play more golf. More golf. He needs more golf.
Trump is going crazy. I don't care what you say. He's getting crazier and crazier.
Oh yeah, no, I was saying that tonight to
Really noticed
Marjorie. I
that.
said he's getting nuttier and nuttier. We thought he
Yeah.
was crazy once before, but he's gotten nuttier and nuttier. So
Oh yeah.
whatever. But anyway, so
I like the exchange he had with Ted Lieu,
Mm-hmm.
the congressman from California, or former congressman.
Yeah.
Trump at some point tweeted that if Biden wins, we'll all have to learn to speak Chinese. And Ted Lieu responded, "Mr. President, I already speak Chinese, and I served in the United States military, which you were afraid to do. I defended your right to say stupid shit."
Yeah, that was good.
Did
So
he
this
say
is
that?
granddaughter with Ivanka.
And there, for the end of the show, we have to have our cameo appearance by Adrian. Hi, Adrian. How are you, sweetheart? You okay? Will you marry me?
Yeah.
Will you marry me?
Hey, say hello. Say hi.
Yeah, yeah. My future wife, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Anyway, hey, there's the theme. It's good. Well, tomorrow night's Phil Free night, right? Oh,
That's right.
Well-
It's Bill Free Thursday.
let's see how many people we can get here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
A lot
hope
of
you
people
get 'em all.
show up now.
Huh?
Bill, you get a replacement, a Trump, a QAnon replacement for us?
No, you're going to have to handle that yourself. But
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Phil. And thank you very much, Charlie. And thank you very much, Adrian, and whoever that stranger is next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Robert, thank I know he's your daddy. And Robert and Jeff and John Larkin and Howard. Oh, yeah. Malika. What do you say? Aloha.
Mahalo.
Mahalo. Mahalo for not smoking. That was my favorite sign of all time. Yes, thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you to Rob. Good having you here tonight. And a big good night. A big good night to Bree. Oh, she's going crazy. Hey, everybody, wave goodbye. Wave goodbye, and we'll wave back goodbye at you. And hopefully, I'll be back again tomorrow night, unless I get exhausted again trying to make stuff work. Okay. Jack Bishop is next on time tonight, and he will be following over most of the same GabNet. I'll see you tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, you know what? If you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody. And by the way, you know what you want to do? Yeah, you want to stay safe and wear a mask.